I've got some troubling news about England's royal family.
It has been an incredibly tough couple of months for our entire family.
I'm 75 now, and I can't remember anybody except the Queen being there.
Shocking discoveries from the royal archives have just resurfaced, and they have left Prince William and Prince Harry completely stunned. This time, it's not about royal protocol or public duties, but something far more personal. According to royal insiders, it all started when Princess Catherine discovered that Queen Camilla had stolen one of Princess Diana's most iconic jewelry pieces. What followed did not just stir old emotions, it opened a part of the royal past that many hoped had been put to rest. So, what exactly did Camilla take? And why has this caused such a rift within the family? Stay with us as we uncover the truth behind the stolen jewels. The missing jewelries. It's a well-known fact that stealing is a serious offense, one that comes with consequences regardless of social rank or royal privilege. History has proven that even within the confines of Buckingham Palace, no one is entirely immune. In 2021, Paul Burrell, a royal staffer working under Queen Elizabeth, was arrested and tried for stealing personal items from the royal residence. So what happens when the accusation isn't directed at staff, but at royalty itself? Curious to get the answer to that question, stick around to the end of this video. It all started in 2019, during a period of quiet transition within the monarchy. Queen Elizabeth did something that insiders described as a gesture of peace and inclusion. She offered Camilla access to some of Princess Diana's former jewelry and her own personal jewelries. Among the pieces reportedly given was a classic pearl choker and a pair of Collingwood pearl drop earrings, both of which held significant sentimental value. Camilla was frequently seen wearing some of Diana's jewelry to formal events, including state banquets and royal ceremonies. At the time, the public reaction was divided. Some felt it was a step toward unity, while others saw it as a subtle erasure of Diana's enduring legacy. But things changed drastically following the Queen's death in 2023. With the royal vaults being rescued and reassessed, new custodial protocols were put into place. Items that had previously been distributed informally were now subject to formal logging and confirmation. This is where the inconsistencies began to appear. It was discovered that while the jewels given to Camilla were no longer accounted for in the official inventory, those bequeathed to Catherine remained intact. Most importantly, Catherine had been entrusted with Diana's heirlooms, meant specifically for Princess Charlotte. Among them were the same Collingwood earrings and the original pearl choker. These were two pieces that were not just historical, but deeply symbolic. The first hint of something amiss came when Catherine wore the Collingwood pearl drop earrings to a royal charity event in late 2024. Royal watchers with keen eyes pointed out that one of the diamonds appeared different. They said it was possibly replaced. At first, the speculation was mild. Some said that it was just speculation, and argued that the earrings must be undergoing some minor repair. But the twist came. When Prince William revealed that a ring belonging to Princess Diana was also missing, the shocking part was that this was not just any ring. It was the very one both he and Prince Harry had once chosen for their wives. When this matter came to light, the royal household attempted to keep the issue internal. But Diana's jewelry was not just family heirlooms. They were cultural artifacts with worldwide recognition. And when reports surfaced that the original pearl choker, gifted to Diana on her 18th birthday and reserved for Charlotte's future, had also vanished, things reached a boiling point. Catherine decided to go to the root of the issue and find out who exactly was responsible for this. She was able to achieve that during a private family luncheon at Buckingham Palace. And that was when the tension finally snapped. The luncheon was supposed to be a quiet affair. The gathering included Prince William and his family, Princess Anne and her children, and Camilla's son, Tom Parker Bowles. Camilla was to arrive late, as she had reportedly been attending to King Charles, who was recovering from a minor health issue. When she finally entered the dining room, the atmosphere changed. Catherine's eyes locked onto Camilla's earrings instantly. Without needing to speak, she recognized them. The Collingwood pearl drops that were supposed to be in her care were in the ears of Camilla. The room quieted. Catherine stood up slowly, making her way toward Camilla. Her eyes were fixed on the piece of jewelry. She stopped just a few feet away and asked calmly but firmly where the earrings had come from. Camilla, visibly taken aback, hesitated before giving a vague answer. It was enough to raise more suspicion. Catherine pressed further, pointing out that the same earrings had gone missing from her secured personal collection months earlier. When the tension became unbearable. Princess Anne stepped in, urging Catherine to remain composed and suggesting that they discuss it later. But Catherine refused to be silenced. The choker, the earrings, the missing ring, it was too much to ignore. William, now standing beside his wife, supported her request to verify the earrings' authenticity. And that was where everything took a dramatic turn. William insisted they waste no time. He proposed calling in a trusted friend, an independent gemologist, to examine the earrings. You see, royal jewels are meticulously catalogued, each gem bearing unique identifying features, cuts, and settings, making it virtually impossible to pass off one piece for another without detection. At this point, Camilla, who was now visibly unsettled, responded with indignation. She called the accusation an insult, not just to her, but to the dignity of the crown itself. But Catherine stood her ground. For her, it wasn't about titles or public image. It was about Diana. It was about Charlotte. It was about protecting a legacy built on trust, not entitlement. As voices rose and tension escalated, Princess Anne once again stepped in, calling for calm and reminding everyone that above all, they were still a family. But William was resolute. The truth, he said, had to come out regardless of the discomfort it might bring. Within days, the gemologist completed the evaluation. The verdict left no room for doubt. It simply said that the earrings were indeed the original Collingwood pearl drop earrings, an unmistakable piece from Princess Diana's personal collection. The findings were quietly recorded in the official royal archives. Camilla never addressed the accusations publicly, but shortly after the earrings were discreetly returned, along with the missing pearl choker. No formal statement was issued, and the palace declined all media inquiries on the matter. Yet within royal circles, the damage had already been done. In response, the remaining pieces from Diana's collection were swiftly secured in the royal vault under newly restricted access. Catherine was granted exclusive custodianship over heirlooms intended for Princess Charlotte. Revised protocols were introduced to govern how family treasures were handled moving forward. What was meant to be a quiet family lunch had taken an unexpectedly somber turn. And then came the moment that left the entire table in stunned silence. William, still shaken by the betrayal, made a personal decision that spoke volumes. He instructed his children not to refer to Camilla as Grandma. She was not their grandmother, he said, not in blood and not in spirit. So what actually made these jewels so important, so significant, that they could fracture even the most carefully preserved royal bonds? Stay with us as we go into the history and emotional weight of Princess Diana's iconic jewelry collection. The history and weight of Diana's jewelries. Diana's jewelry collection wasn't only rich in monetary value, it was rich in sentiment. Her jewels were gifted by monarchs, inherited from queens, and tailored to her unique sense of style. They were not just family possessions. Those jewelries became part of her legacy. Among the most iconic jewelry is Diana's sapphire and diamond engagement ring. Set in 18-karat white gold and surrounded by 14 solitaire diamonds, the 12-karat oval blue Ceylon sapphire was not a bespoke royal commission, but a catalog piece from Gerard. Diana selected it herself as a way to break out from the tradition that foreshadowed her independent approach to royal life. The ring later found new life on the hand of Catherine, Princess of Wales, when Prince William proposed to her. The gesture was deliberate, a symbol of continuity, remembrance, and connection across generations. Another staple of Diana's collection was the lover's knot tiara. Originally commissioned in 1913 by Queen Mary and modeled after a tiara owned by her grandmother, this dazzling piece features a series of upright pearls dangling from diamond arches. It was passed down to Queen Elizabeth II, who lent it to Diana after her marriage to Charles. Diana wore it regularly at formal occasions, even though reports have it that she found it heavy and uncomfortable. The tiara vanished from public view after her death.
Thursday marks 20 years since Princess Diana was killed in a car crash,
Until it reappeared on Catherine in 2015. Interestingly, Queen Camilla has never worn the lover's knot tiara, despite having full access to the royal vault. Only Diana and Catherine have publicly worn it, but it did not end there. Princess Diana also cherished pearls. It was a symbol of elegance and grace that defined her style. One of her most famous pearl pieces was the multi-strand pearl choker with a central sapphire and diamond clasp. The clasp was a wedding gift from the Queen Mother, originally a brooch. Diana had it redesigned into a choker that she wore to major events, including her iconic appearance at the White House in 1985 when she danced with John Travolta. The choker resurfaced in the royal circle when Catherine wore a similar 4-row pearl choker, crafted from pearls gifted by the Japanese government. This particular piece has also been worn by Queen Elizabeth II and Princess Diana, making it a quiet but powerful symbol of female legacy in the monarchy. Even the Queen Mary's diamond bar choker bracelet tells a similar story. It was once worn as a dramatic Art Deco-style choker by Queen Mary. It was later adapted into a bracelet. It passed through the hands of Queen Mother Elizabeth, who wore it for her 75th birthday. After her passing, it faded from public view until Catherine began wearing it again in recent years, an unspoken symbol of her growing role as future queen. There's also the Queen Alexandra's wedding necklace, a gift from King Edward VII to his bride, Alexandra of Denmark. It later adorned Queen Mother Elizabeth, then Queen Elizabeth II, and finally made its way to Princess Diana, before going down to Catherine, who wore it at a state banquet in 2018. So, like many royal jewels, it quietly moved through generations, carrying layers of history with each wearer. And here comes the deal breaker. One of the most distinctive pieces Diana wore was the emerald and diamond choker known as the Delhi Durbar choker, originally part of a parure created for Queen Mary. It was bold, striking, and a little rebellious, exactly like Diana. She once famously wore it as a headband during a royal visit to Australia, causing a stir among traditionalists and cementing her status as a royal fashion rule breaker. Another iconic item that is now known for its symbolism more than its sparkle is Diana's Aquamarine ring. After her separation from Prince Charles, Diana commissioned the ring as a sign of independence. The emerald-cut aquamarine, flanked by solitaire diamonds and set in yellow gold, was a personal choice that reflected her evolving identity. After her death, it went to Prince Harry and was seen on Meghan Markle's finger during their wedding reception in 2018. Its appearance marked a poignant bridge between Diana's journey and Meghan's entry into royal life. And that was why its sudden departure hurt the royal house deeply. And then there is the Swan Lake Suite designed by Diana in collaboration with Gerard. The suite included a diamond and South Sea pearl necklace and matching earrings. Diana wore the necklace to a performance of Swan Lake just weeks before her death. The earrings were not completed in time, making the necklace one of her final public fashion statements. After her death, the set was auctioned to raise money for children's charities. But it wasn't just the items Diana wore that mattered, it was how she wore them. She reimagined heirlooms with creativity and boldness. She turned brooches into chokers, wore tiaras with soft hair instead of stiff updos, and dared to modernize relics of monarchy without disrespecting their origin. Her choices broke convention and inspired generations. Despite her tragic passing in 1997, Princess Diana's jewelry continues to hold a powerful presence within the royal family. Many of her most cherished pieces were passed down to her sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, with the intention that they would one day be worn by their future wives. These heirlooms became more than just accessories. They served as emotional links to their mother's legacy. In fact, the shared connection to Diana's jewelry once symbolized a rare point of unity between the two brothers. But how could a collection of gemstones and pearls hold such emotional weight? Let's find out. How Diana's jewelry has united her children. Ever since the day Princess Diana died, and her two young sons were left to navigate life without her, one thing quietly helped hold them together, and that was her jewelry. It was not just about the diamonds or the historical value. It was about memory, the emotion. So as time went on, Diana's jewelry became a silent thread that helped her children carry forward what she had always wanted for them. Unity. In November 2010, Prince William and Prince Harry were given access to their mother's personal belongings at Kensington Palace, Diana's former home. The visit wasn't ceremonial or covered by the media. It was a private moment between two brothers looking to sort through her things. Some of these Diana's belongings were eventually destined for auction, including letters and personal notes. But what they found in one corner of her room changed everything. Stay tuned. As they searched through her items, they found old family photos, handwritten letters, and small keepsakes. One object stood out, and that was Princess Diana's jewelry box. It was not part of the royal collection and hadn't been stashed away in a high-security vault. It was simple, elegant, and unmistakably personal. This box held pieces Diana had worn not just to grand banquets or charity galas, but during ordinary moments, on school runs, grocery trips, and even on a casual stop at McDonald's. These weren't just jewels. They were here. Opening the box, the atmosphere between the brothers shifted. They did not stand there with the roles of future king and royal spare. At that point, it was just William and Harry, two sons reconnecting with their mother in the most intimate way possible. Every ring, bracelet, and earring carried a memory only they could fully understand. Some reminded them of big, televised moments. Others triggered flashbacks of quiet afternoons in their childhood nursery. But as they went through the contents piece by piece, two items stopped them in their tracks. William was drawn to Diana's Cartier Tank Française watch, a gift from her father, John Spencer. She had worn it regularly and favored its understated elegance. It was not flashy. It was refined, much like William himself. The watch spoke of dignity, reliability, and timelessness, three qualities that would define William's public life in the years to come. Harry, meanwhile, moved toward a piece the whole world recognized, and that was Diana's 12-carat Salon sapphire engagement ring, encircled with 14 solitaire diamonds and set in 18-carat white gold. It was the ring that had symbolized the fairy tale marriage between Charles and Diana. But for Harry, it wasn't about royal spectacle. It reminded him of her hands, her smile, and how she had carried herself under pressure with both grace and quiet suffering. At that time, Harry chose the ring, and William chose the watch. They believed they had honored their mother by each taking what meant the most to them. But here comes the part that's really defined the impact of Diana's jewelries. Months later, in 2010, William was preparing to propose to his longtime girlfriend, Kate Middleton. That's when Harry did something that few ever expected. He gave the sapphire ring to his brother. It wasn't a simple gesture. It was a powerful act of love. Harry knew that Kate would one day become queen, and that Diana's ring belonged in that future. By passing it on, Harry wasn't just giving up a keepsake, he was ensuring his mother would remain part of the royal narrative. The ring would once again be worn by a strong, compassionate woman entering the royal family, just like Diana had decades before. When William presented the ring to Kate in Kenya, it carried more than sentimental value. It carried Diana's legacy. Today, that same ring rests on the hand of Catherine, Princess of Wales, and has been seen around the world during state visits, charity engagements, and official portraits. To the public, it's dazzling. But to William, Harry, and Kate, it is something deeper. It's Diana's seat at the table. A part of her is woven permanently into their lives. Harry, for his part, later designed Meghan Markle's engagement ring with the same thoughtfulness. The central diamond was from Botswana, a place that held meaning for the couple. But the two smaller side stones came from Diana's personal collection. Again, it was about connection, memory, presence. Meghan's ring didn't just represent her new life, it brought Diana with her into it. These choices weren't orchestrated by palace officials or mandated by tradition. They came from the heart. In those small, glittering items, both brothers found ways to keep their mother close and honor her legacy. The jewelry was more than inheritance. It was emotional glue, an unspoken bond that linked their past to their present. And for a while, it worked. Despite the pressures of royal life, despite growing scrutiny from the media, Diana's jewelry helped anchor William and Harry. It reminded them who they were, not just royals, but sons of a woman who had changed the face of the monarchy with compassion and vulnerability. So when Camilla took it, it wasn't just a piece of jewelry she was claiming, it was their mother. And that was something the boys couldn't allow to happen again. What do you think about the fact that Camilla allegedly stole Princess Diana's jewelry? Was it a careless move, or something more deliberate? And how well do you think Diana's engagement ring has truly united William and Harry over the years? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. We'd love to hear from you. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more. And be sure to click the next video showing on your screen. You will enjoy it.